Hi friends, today it's dive into me. A few weeks ago I asked you guys for Q&A questions to celebrate the 20,000 subscriber milestone that I just hit, and you guys sent a bunch of questions, a lot more than I was expecting, so I've kind of gone through and picked out like my favorites, and Ben is going to ask them to me. This is Ben, by the way.
Hi, I'm Ben. Steph M asks, this may be a bit more of a boring question compared to the others, but how has life as a mother been? Has filming videos and having a baby been a big challenge?
Yes. So first part of the question, how has life as a mother been? Amazing. I've always known I wanted kids. I was a nanny for a while. I love children. So it's been amazing. It's had a lot of like ups and downs and hurdles. I try and be as honest with that as I can be. It's not always easy. There's definite moments where I won't say you regret having kids, but there's definitely moments where you're like, life would be so much easier if we didn't have kids. And I say that with love. I would never exchange her for the world. I'd never like get rid of her or anything like that. I couldn't even dream of it, but it's amazing. But like, it's the most amazing thing you can do, and it's the hardest thing you can do. So that's kind of how I view motherhood. Filming with a baby is interesting. I used to film between 2 and 4 p.m. in the afternoon, because then I could work on the video in the morning and then film it in the afternoon, and we'd have evenings to spend together watching TV or playing board games or that kind of stuff. But I can't film in the afternoon because she's awake, and so she's like gurgling or crying or like throwing her rattles around, and like she needs my attention because Ben is at home because he works from home, but he works from home, so he has work to do also. So we try and swap her out so I can get some work done and he can get some work done, but it's pretty much impossible for me to film when she's awake. I've tried a few times and you just hear her crying in the background, so I have to film when she's asleep. But Ben puts her down to bed at probably around 7:30. And then you cook dinner, because I don't cook. So then you cook dinner, and then we eat, and then I have to like get changed and get in the right mental space for filming. By the time I start filming, it's only like 9 p.m. and then like I'm done filming and I just want to go to bed. So it's made, like it's taken away a lot of our evenings together, because I film twice a week, so that's 2 evenings a week systematically. We don't really see each other anymore. So that's been kind of hard, and I'm looking forward to her being a bit older and like understanding like mommy needs to film now, so you need to be quiet for 20 minutes or however long it takes, or like old enough that like you can take her to the park to play for 20 minutes, half an hour while I can film. So it'll get back to a more normal schedule, but for now it's not the easiest thing.
Gay Lightwood asked, how would you think you'd do if you were reaped into the Hunger Games, and what district would you hail from?
I'd definitely be District 4 because fishing, ocean, water, scuba diving, it all fits in together. How would I do if I was reaped? Not well. Pretty sure I've covered this. I would die. I'm not gonna go in the arena. I would go in the arena obviously, but I wouldn't survive. Don't laugh, you wouldn't do better.
No.
Just saying.
Jocelyn Tarango asked, what would you have done if not becoming a YouTuber?
See, this is funny to me because I don't see myself as a YouTuber. Like, yes, it's what I'm doing right now, but it's not my career. It's not my lifelong job. So what would I have done is probably what I was doing anyway, which is, being a scuba diving instructor. I'll be honest, YouTube isn't like the next 50 years of my life. This channel's not gonna last forever. I'm not gonna stay on it forever just because there's other like things in the world to do, and I will be going back to scuba diving, and I've talked about going back either as an instructor or as a research diver, but either way I'm gonna have like a proper adult job again, and the channel's gonna have to take a back burner. So what would I do if I wasn't a YouTuber is my actual job. Ben's lost the questions.
Yes.
Believe it or not, he's an engineer.
Yes.
Lost the question. I've literally just screenshotted the questions. He just has to like click down each time to read the next one, and he's managed to get lost.
EVS.
He found it again.
Which do you think is better, the Hunger Games or the Battle of Zombies and Snakes?
I think after my review earlier on you can guess. But definitely the Hunger Games.
Excited Despande asked, Are you a book person or a movie person?
I prefer books because there tends to be more information in them. I love reading, but movies are easier because it tends to be 2 hours. And, like, we can watch a movie together. As I mentioned earlier on, Ben's not great with the reading. So even if there's a book I absolutely love and I give it to him, I'm like, you should read this book. It'll be 6 months later and he's like 2 chapters in. Which then frustrates me because he also doesn't want me to tell him what happens in the book. No. Because it's spoilers and I'll read it eventually. That's what you say. But then I can't talk to him about stuff in a book because you won't read it. And the reason I asked you to read it is because I want to talk to you about it. So movies makes more sense for us, but I prefer books personally.
Daniela Toro asked, this is a random question, but how did you do the Mockingjay logo that's behind you?
You mean this one? I bought it off Etsy. The only thing on the set I made is that map of Panem. Because I'm a nerd and I made a map of Panem.
And
oh yeah, and those paintings. I keep forgetting those are there. I also painted those, which it's abstract art. It's the Hunger Games books. No one has yet to figure that one out. Which I'm just gonna pretend because like it's so abstract. It's not, it's because it's really not obvious. But yeah, it's actually the Hunger Games books. It's Hunger Games, Catching Fire and Mockingjay. Yeah, your head's not in the way. I was just checking Ben's head's not in the way.
Hello.
But this, and this I bought off of Etsy. The shop that did these three no longer exists, but you can find very similar ones. I don't know if the shop that did the lips exists. This one. But yeah, the only ones I did are the small paintings. I'm not very artistic.
Alexi May asks, what's your favorite salad dressing?
That's so specific. Can I say vinaigrette? Is that boring? There's like a red berry vinaigrette. I'll say that. I'm really bored. That's such a specific... I don't think I've ever had to think of that before in my life. I don't think I've ever sat down and been like, what's my favourite salad dressing?
Well, now you have.
Well, not really, because I haven't got an answer for it. This is such a specific question. I love it. It threw me off.
Nitro9 has a few questions.
Oh,
what is your favourite book out of the Hunger Games series?
Mockingjay.
Can you rank the books in the Hunger Games series, including the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes?
Mockingjay, Catching Fire. Yeah, Catching Fire, Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
If
it's backwards. Well, yeah, never mind. Ignore me.
It's backwards in the chronological order.
Yeah, chronologically it's backwards. Release order, it's not.
If you could get Susan Collins to write another book, prequel or not, highlighting another character from the Hunger Games trilogy, which character would you choose?
It's going to be a really interesting answer. But Cressida? I think you know why I'm saying Cressida. She's played by Natalie Dormer in the Mockingjay movies, and I have a huge crush on her. And so there's a book of her, maybe there'd be a movie of her, and therefore there'd be more Natalie Dormer on screen. I'm so basic. Yeah, so Cressida. She's the one with the shaved head and the vines tattooed in her hair. Played by Natalie Dormer. He's a gorgeous human being. Anyway, let's move on before I keep going with this.
So Nitro now was saying they personally would love for a book about Haymitch and his games.
A lot of people say that, and I can definitely see why, but I feel like the games are so well described in Catching Fire, I don't feel like they need their own book. Maybe that's just me.
Richmond17 asks, do you believe in dust, or would you if living in the in the His Dark Materials world?
I'm not asking him 3 questions anymore.
No, that was a bad idea.
It really was. I just didn't want to sit here by myself for like half an hour just reading questions to myself. Do I believe in dust? I'm trying to think how to answer this without spoiling stuff. No, because most of them probably haven't read the books because no one has read these books.
Okay, so if you haven't read the books, plug your ears right now.
For those of you who read the books, who have read the books, you know that I'm not going to answer this without spoiling. Dust equates to something that may or may not exist in our universe. And therefore, yes, I believe in dust because of the link it has to the thing in our world. Those of you who haven't read the books must be so confused at this point. And those of you who have read the books, I hope you've read them enough to know the very specific few chapters I'm talking about here. If I was in His Dark Materials world, would I believe in dust? Well, it depends, because if you are religious and follow the magisterium, you believe in dust because it's original sin. If you're not religious, and you therefore don't listen to the magisterium, would you believe in dust? It depends, like, do we believe in sin? Some people aren't religious and do believe that there's a right and a wrong, some people don't. So I think I would believe in dust, I just don't think I'd see it in the now it's my turn to mess up. In the religious sense, because I'm not religious in that sense. I hope that made sense. I've said sense a lot. Stop talking.
Staruto Pluto asks, did you read the Hunger Games books first or movies first?
I feel so old. I read the books before the movies existed. No, because we went to go see the first movie together.
Yeah.
When it came out.
Yeah.
Because we've been together for that long. Also, we've been together almost 9 years. And I read the books probably about a year before the first movie came out. Because when I read the books, the movies hadn't even been announced yet. So, yeah. We're old. Like, because you read the books around the same time I did.
Yeah.
And we've seen every single movie in the cinema as a date.
Yeah.
Because we're cute.
Joey Mariani asks, out of all the franchises you've done videos on, which one is your favorite?
His Dark Materials, and if you haven't read the books, get on it. There's a prequel series, and it's so much better than The Battle of Songbirds and Snakes. Although I've only read one of I believe there's only 2 out at the moment. Philip Pullman is really, really not big on, like, advertising himself, so I don't know how many books are coming out. That frustrates me about him. But get on those books if you haven't. If you think the TV show is good, the books are so much better, and I'm still trying to get you to read them. Hopefully I'll get there.
Regina asks, are the odds on your favor if you were reaped? I don't know if you understand me, and please use this question so my friends see that you respond me, your vids are the best.
There you go, Regina's friends. I'm answering her question. The odds would not be in my favor at all. We've covered this extensively at this point. I would not. Just would not. Full stop.
HP for Life asks, who is your favorite character in the Hunger Games and Harry Potter?
So Hunger Games, already covered. Effie Trinket, Harry Potter, probably Luna. Just because she sees the world in such a, like, fun way. So yeah, Luna Lovegood. We had a weird camera thing happen, so let's restart that question.
Myrina Russos asks, would you rather A, be a Hunger Games victor, or B, live at Hogwarts?
Live at Hogwarts, because if you're a Hunger Games victor, you have some trauma to go through because of what you lived through. At least at Hogwarts, there's less likelihood of trauma.
Yumi asks, what video did you put the most effort in?
Ben's laughing because he had to
answer.
help. What's it called? Something like...
The Reaping Ball video?
Yeah, what are the reapings rigged? Something like that. The one where I have a reaping bowl full of little reaping slips. Ben had to help me make those. It took us hours. It was such a brilliant idea on paper. Such a terrible idea in reality. Do not do that. It took us, I think it took like 6 or 7 hours for the both of us to do that. So, by far the most effort, and that video doesn't do that well. Which is really annoying. So if you haven't watched it, please go watch it. Give it a like, because that video took forever to prepare.
Chloe's World asks, what's your favorite color? By the way, I love your videos.
My favorite color is like mint green or rose gold. Can I in between the two? And thank you.
Kylie's2 asks, where do you get your bright colored lipsticks? It may sound weird, but I want some.
So I got some of them from NYX Cosmetics and some of them from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I no longer buy from Jeffree Star Cosmetics because he's racist and supports pedophilia, so, you know, I'm not supporting that anymore. NYX, from what I can tell, are still a good company, and I'm looking for other companies to buy from, mainly because I try and get products that are vegan and, like, cruelty-free and stuff like that, which is surprisingly hard to find.
Jaden Moore asks, sorry.
Wow.
Hey, how many kids do you have?
Just the one for now. Just Rowena.
Yumi asks, what are you gonna dress up as for Halloween?
No idea. We should probably get on that.
Yeah, it's coming up.
But no idea. We did skeletons last year. It was cute.
We did. Leonidas G441 asks, where are you from?
Born in Belgium, but raised in a Scottish culture, live in Australia.
Sums it up.
Yep.
Myrina Russos asks, what has it been like to film during the COVID pandemic?
Okay, see, this question makes it sound like, do you think I have a team? That's what it sounds like. You think I have like a team, and therefore I've had to like move people back to their homes to work, and we can't all get to. I am me. Ben helps. You help flesh out theories. You check over the whiteboard.
Yeah.
For those of you on Patreon, the pictures of the whiteboards that I post for each video, Ben helps. He reads them over, make sure like it clicks, and then you review videos once I've edited them.
Yeah.
I do everything else. So I do the camera work, like setting up the camera, making sure it's all okay. Obviously, I'm the on-screen talent. I edit. You make thumbnails now because the computer I was using crashed, and the new computer doesn't have the thumbnail making system. So Ben makes thumbnails. That's why the thumbnails look a little bit different, because it's him making them now. But yeah, it's literally just me. So filming during the pandemic hasn't changed whatsoever, because it's just me in my room. So nothing changed for us.
Kelsey Stuprich asks, what's your first name? I don't know why I asked, I'm just curious.
You haven't watched the intro video on my channel, have you? I know, because in it I say, hi, I'm Jess. My first name is Jess. And it's okay that you haven't watched the intro video. It's just very funny because I can tell people who haven't actually watched a video before they comment. Because what they comment is utter nonsense compared to what I said. Or like they'll be like, oh, but what about blah blah blah? And I'm like, I literally talk about that in the video. And they're like, oh, yeah, I hadn't gotten to that point. Like, just don't comment something if you haven't watched the video, because I can tell. It's very obvious.
Margaret Curtis asks, do you talk about anything besides the Hunger Games?
Somebody else who hasn't actually looked at my channel. I talk about a lot of things besides the Hunger Games. At the moment, I'm also talking about mainly A Song of Ice and Fire, better known as Game of Thrones, and His Dark Materials. But I've also talked about Supernatural, Sherlock, Lord of the Rings, Disney, Pixar. I feel like there's more.
Probably.
I do talk about other things, especially like earlier of my channel was mainly like Disney Pixar stuff. Then it became mainly Hunger Games stuff. But even just like once a week I upload a video that's not Hunger Games related. So
Vasti Asare asks, what is your favorite Hunger Games movie and book, and why?
So book, as mentioned earlier on, is Mockingjay, mainly because I like the more complex side of it, and like the more political war aspect of it versus children killing each other. Favorite movie is Catching Fire. I think aesthetically it's the nicest, and I just really like it more than all the others. Even though it doesn't have Natalie Dormer in it.
Myrina Russos asks, what role or position would you want to take in Panem? It could be a mentor, stylist, president, or any other position.
President. No, I don't know. That's a good question. I'd like to think I'm not involved in the Hunger Games, because I don't want to be involved in a thing where kids kill each other. So I don't know, like a little shop owner in the capital. Nothing interesting, nothing important.
Yeah, I don't feel like you want to be in Snow's close circles after what happens to
No,
Antonio.
you don't want to be near Snow, because if you annoy him just ever so slightly, you're gone.
Emily Paredes asks, where is your accent from?
Finally, a question about my accent. I get this a lot. Everybody, literally everyone I meet at one point goes, where's your accent from? So, as I said, I was born in Belgium. I'm half Belgian. But I grew up in a Scottish culture because I'm half Scottish. My, I guess, natural accent is technically Scottish. If I get very tired, it comes out. Ben thinks it's hilarious when it does. You like forcing me to watch Brave?
Yes.
Because if I watch movies or like anything with enough Scottish accent in it, mine will come out. And Ben thinks it's hilarious to make it come out. My accent, however, is the international school kid accent. I've gone to international schools my whole life, and pretty much everyone who has done that, even if English is their mother tongue, you get this kind of weird conglomerate accent that picks up a little bit of everything. So that's why I sound kind of British, but I can sound kind of American, kind of Australian, kind of Scottish, kind of Welsh, kind of South African, kind of Irish. People like to guess where I'm from. The most common is Welsh, South African, England, New Zealand, and for some reason I get Zimbabwe a lot. I don't know why, but by far the most common is South African, which I didn't get until I talked to people from South Africa, and I was like, okay, I can actually kind of get where people are coming from. And Welsh I kind of get too. But yeah, it's just the international school kid accent. If I talk to someone with a specific accent for long enough, I'll pick up on their accent instead, and my accent will change to theirs, which is an interesting party trick.
Anya asked, how old are you?
25. I just had a birthday, and that's why I had to think, because I don't remember, because I'm so old. I don't know how old you are, but I think everyone else can kind of agree with this, and I think you can too. Once you reach like 19, you don't know how old you are anymore. Like, you could be any age.
Yeah. It's the equivalent of like only realizing in May that it's the new year instead of...
Like, it's in May and you're like, oh, we're 2020, we're not 2019.
I should stop writing 2019 when I write
Your birthday is the same thing. Because I had a medical appointment last week. At one point they said, how old are you? I went, 24. No, I'm 25. And they looked at me, I'm like, I genuinely don't know how old I am. And it doesn't help that I had a birthday recently. It's going to take me so long to remember how old I am. And you'd think I'd remember, but yeah, no, I'm 25.
And last question from Leo Den Baster. Which country do you live in?
We live in Australia as of 3 years ago.
Yes.
Wow, I had a moment. My brain is fried. It's late. I just want to go to bed. Yeah, we live in Australia now. I've lived all over the place, but now it's Australia. Is that it?
That's it.
Cool. So yeah, thank you guys so much for sending in all your questions. There was a lot more. The thing is, most of those were more either theory-based questions or just kind of questions about, like, there was a lot of repetitive questions, like how would you do in the Hunger Games, what weapons would you use, like that kind of stuff, but also just like things that are more related to the Hunger Games specifically. And because I talk about other things, and because the Hunger Games isn't actually my favourite series, which shocks a lot of people I know, I wanted to kind of just do more kind of general questions about me, some Hunger Games related ones, but more like about me, so you guys get to know a bit more about me, because I feel like people want to know about me. Does that sound egocentric? People want to know about me. No, but I do get a lot of questions about me personally, and I know when people like join the Discord, like the few new people we get, they do like immediately kind of like try and find out more like about me and about Ben specifically. A lot of people don't know you exist.
None of you ask about me.
Because I didn't say you would be on camera.
You better ask about me in the next Q&A.
If you could leave some questions in the comment section for Ben to answer, that way he feels loved. And if you want, you can also ask questions for the dog and for Rowena. Might as well just throw everyone in so nobody gets jealous. I didn't say you'd be on camera, that's why nobody asked you. Also, most people don't know you exist.
Hi, I exist.
I have to live with this. Anyway, I have to put up the outro. I don't remember what it is. So yeah, thank you for sending in questions. Send some in for him so that he feels special. I'm sure he would appreciate it. Do we want to do a question? I always end my videos with a question for you, but I don't know if there's a question I want to ask. Awkward silence ensues. Here's a question. What made you want to watch my videos? And for those of you who subscribed, what made you subscribe? I genuinely actually really like to know. So please tell me in the comment section down below. And until next time, happy bubbles! Thanks so much for watching this video, and thank you to my Patreon brothers for supporting the channel. If you want to see any of my other videos, you can click on the box on the left to see my most recent upload, or you can click on the box on the right to see a video that the YouTube algorithm thinks you would enjoy. Thanks for liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell.